wanted to ask you a couple of questions about your career, Tony. You moved to Oakland in the latter part of the 80s and early 90s, and that team was just an absolute machine. I remember being 10, 11 years old at the time. It was just so cohesive, and it was just so dominant. I mean, you obviously have the Bash brothers, but everybody on that team was tough. Like, you've got Dave Stewart on the mound, you've got even in the middle infield, Gallego and Walt Weiss seemed like they knew what they were doing. How would you describe that level of cohesion?
Well, that part of cohesion was something Chicago, Oakland, St. Louis. I mean, it's a frame of mind that you put together where your team is your family. A little bit like the military, it's a brotherhood. We all do our best, but we're working together, and that connects you forever. Those relationships exist to this day. It just turned out in Oakland and later on in St. Louis. We had some talent there that very often they just come up to me and just tell me, hey, just tell us what time the game starts, who we're playing, and just get out of the way.
That's what it looked and felt like, too. So one other question I'd ask you about that time period was Tony La Russa Baseball. Huge baseball game, huge video game for me as a kid. You were always a stats guy, even pre-sabermetrics. What do you remember about producing that video game?
I remember coming to Oakland, and we started to have success, and a gentleman named Don Daglow, who lives in the Bay Area, and he was part of, I think, one of the first computer baseball games. He worked it with Earl Weaver, and then he had moved to the Bay Area, and he contacted us and knew that we were really into preparation. And we just talked baseball, and he created this game, which I guess, it ran for 3 or 4 or 5 years, and several years it was like, sports game of the year or something. So it was Don Daglow was the inspiration for that, but I knew that we had a basis, a pitching coach like Dave Duncan, for example, was incredible how cutting edge he was.
You mentioned preparation. It's been noted that, of your friendship with Bill Belichick, the Patriots head coach, huge proponent of preparation as well. What's the number one thing, characteristic-wise, that you guys have in common? And can you talk about the necessity of preparation?
Well, it's hard to say one thing. One we talk about is that creating that family where accountability of each person to the team. But then you have to get that frame of mind where you treat the practice as preparation for the game, and you mean quality repetitions. You build your competitiveness from the ground up. Just do the fundamentals correctly, then you'll play the game. And then you just understand that it's a game against another team. There's a score, and you're supposed to do your best to win. If you win, you celebrate. If you lose, you tip your cap. But one of the neat things about what we're talking about while we're here is, Bill has been a huge friend since we've been friends, probably 10 years now. He's always supported ARF, and in fact, I've talked to him about this service dog salute because he's been involved with our Pets and Vets program. So I'm sure he has already watched the video. In fact, he asked me how to get it, and I told him, hey, just go to dogchow.com/service. And he commented how much he enjoyed it and how many times he's going to share it. Now, if he gets that word out with how popular the Patriots are, we're going to make a lot of money.
Final question about your playing career. Are you upset that your career batting average is 199 and not 200?
Yeah, man. Is that what you call it, the Mendoza Line?
The Mendoza Line.
Yeah, so if I had gotten one more hit, I'd have hit like 203 or something, 202. But then I realized...
The La Russa Line.
I realized that I was thinking about how bad I was. I was lucky I got that close to 200.
Great line. Mr. Lussa, seriously, just appreciate your time this morning. Thanks for taking a couple minutes.